everyone, it's author and musician Sarah Crawford, and today I am here to talk about my album Pocket the Moon. I did one of these explainer videos about my album Unsent Letters, and I thought it was fun, so I thought I would do one about Pocket the Moon. My first band was age 15. It was an all-girl band, pretty awesome. Then when I was about 19, 20, I was in a band called Ruby with a bunch of like 30-something guys. Kind of weird, but you know, it was pretty cool. It was kind of bluesy. Then I was in a band called Nova Luna when I was like 23-ish with these guys, Adrian, Jeff, and Chase. And then I was in a band briefly called Long Absent Friends when I was 25. And then right after that, I started playing like my solo acoustic songs with a backing band. And we were called Sarah Crawford and the Cult Following. That was a lot of fun too. That was also Jeff and Adrian from Nova Luna and my friend's boyfriend, who later became her husband, Brian, was on the drums. I don't know why I'm giving you like my band history. But then immediately after that, Adrian and Brian could no longer do the band. So that left me and Jeff. So I was like, man, what are we gonna do? We gotta find other people. And Jeff was like, no, we should just be like a 2-person thing. And I was like, that sounds pretty cool. Because Jeff is brilliant and can play like a million instruments. So I was like, if there's somebody that could do a 2-person band with me, it would be Jeff. So then we started Pocket the Moon, and we recorded this album. It's self-titled Pocket the Moon. And to this day, it's probably the piece of art that I am proudest of. I had so much fun in that band. We got to play some really cool Atlanta venues, like the Star Bar and the Drunken Unicorn and the Earl and the Masquerade, Smith's Old Bar. If you're an Atlanta person, you'll probably know some of those. We also did like a tour. We played some venues in Charleston, South Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, Nashville, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois. That was a lot of fun. We literally just packed up like all of our instruments in Jeff's little Honda. It like barely fit. And we were like driving around the country, staying in like Red Roof Inn. That was a lot of fun. So I thought I would just tell you about the tracks on the album. Track 1, Sleepwalking, Jeff wrote music for that, and I just read the lyrics. But I got to play bass in that song, which always made me feel like a badass. It's just kind of like a dreamy song about when you come back to reality and you realize something you've experienced was just a dream. Track 2, Rooftops. This is probably my most positive song. It's about when I went to Mexico in 2010, and I remember we were staying at this hostel that had a really cool rooftop where everybody would go to hang out, and we would just go up there and read our writing to each other and just like talk about writing and just really bond over the creative experience. So I wrote the song Rooftops about that and about, you know, coming together with a group of people and how you can kind of overcome heartache by creating art with other people. Track 3, Don't Try So Hard. Kind of funny, there was a painter who was like my ex's ex, and we didn't like each other very much. She did some paintings that were supposed to be me, but they were like kind of offensive. Like there was one that was like a girl with like a donkey head. So then as my kind of answer to that, I write this song. It's not all about her, but there is a section about her. It's called Don't Try So Hard. It's all just about like people who try too hard, you know, to be cool or whatever. You know, I look back now and I kind of think it's funny / awesome that I was in a bit of an art feud with this girl. Track 4, Falling. That was a song that Jeff wrote, and I played keys and just sang backup. And I remember every time we got to that song in this set, just feeling like so relieved because I could just be like, oh, okay, just gonna take a second and like just play my little notes, sing my little backup, you know, and it just kind of gave me a minute to like regroup. Track 5, 7, and 8 are all songs I wrote about the same ex. We later just kind of became like actual friends, and he actually played guitar with me on Hipster Haircut, like a song that I wrote about him at a gig that I played later, which was pretty funny to me. Track 9, Peter's Lament. Okay, I later married a guy named Peter, so anybody I meet now assumes that song is about him. This was actually before I met Peter, and this song is actually about Peter Pan. And it's a sad song because it's about, you know, Wendy grows up and goes away and he feels kind of like betrayed. And so I wrote that song about that sort of feeling, you know. And track 10, Tangled. This is another song that I wrote. The piano was actually inspired by the song Lover Spit by Broken Social Scene. And the lyrics are, everybody thinks it's about sex. It's not about sex. It's really about a group of people who have thrown their lives away on drugs. I don't specifically say what kind of drugs, but it could really be anything. And it's kind of about how like they just don't care about anything, and they have this like unique bond with each other, but even that is like very flimsy because they all care more about the drugs than they do each other. Nice uplifting note to end the album on, but that is definitely one of my favorite songs that I've written. I had so much fun in this band. This album is on Bandcamp, it's on Spotify, it's on YouTube. I'll link to the YouTube down below in case you want to check it out. It came out in 2011, so it's almost 10 years old, guys. That makes me feel pretty old, but I think it's always going to be something that I look back on and am proud of. Alright, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to check out the album, and I will see you in the next video.
Oh.